What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Buckle in because Hollywood went off this past 2 weeks. First, Disney dropped some streaming numbers that have everyone's jaws on the floor and the competition sweating just a little bit. Seriously, though, nobody saw this coming.
No, not at all. And Glen Powell's officially entering his action hero era with The Running Man dropping, and early buzz says this thing's about to blow past expectations. Or is it? Maybe it started slow. We don't know. We're going to tell you. And if you thought his glow up peaked, think again.
That's right. And get this, the SAG Awards, yeah, they're throwing out that iconic name, and we've known it for decades. So what are they going to rebrand it as? Well, we're going to tell you in this episode. And the internet is completely losing it over their decision.
Oh yeah. But don't go anywhere because Disney's flexing, Powell's sprinting, Hollywood's remaining itself, and we're breaking it all down like we always do. You ready? Let's get into it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Did y'all see that? What?
Let's just throw Scream 6 in there for like
It was good.
movie. It was really good. The best of the franchise, in my opinion, since the first one.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of ITCAFpodcast. Holy moly, welcome, man, oh man. 313 of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. We're super excited to be here. Obviously, getting over sicknesses. I'm sure you can tell a little bit in the voices, but we're still excited to bring you the latest and greatest entertainment news that is happening in Hollywood.
Yes.
And as always, you know your host with the most, myself, J. Logan Austin, and of course, Dustin and Bergman. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, dude. I'm finally feeling a little bit better, which is great because I have been struggling. But it's good. You can still hear that little rasp. I know you got a little rasp going. But you know what? We got through it, and it's going to be a beautiful day. The weather is finally nice. So, yeah, man, I'm feeling great. How about you?
Super excited. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a little sore throat, a little sniffly, but the weather's been changing very weird.
It
So I
has
think I'm
been.
racking it up to that. And because I'm taking my vitamin D, still drinking my honey and my coffee. So making sure my throat feels good for a recording episode of the podcast. But man, oh man, yeah, we are rocking and rolling. That's for
Yes.
sure. But before getting into the rest of the news, be sure to leave a rating on this podcast. Comment below and let us know what you actually think about the show. Because if you didn't know, leaving a rating podcast on the podcast or commenting or sharing or liking any of that stuff, it actually helps more people see this episode or this podcast. And that's what it's all about. Word of mouth, spreading positivity and getting it all out there. That's for sure. But it's not only for those trying to break into the entertainment industry. It's for those who love entertainment news as well.
Correct.
So be sure to like, share, comment, all the good things. We appreciate you.
We do.
And as always, we have a new episode of Everything's Okay that recently dropped this past Wednesday about support systems. So be sure to check that out. Of course, if you don't know, that is our mental health podcast. And we're super excited about that one. It couldn't have come at a better time. So like I said, be sure to check that out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yes.
And then one more piece of business, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We are filmmakers, if you did not know, and we have all of our projects listed on our website so that you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on here at Crazy Ant Media. We have so many different projects in various stages of development, so be sure to check them out. We're excited to start a conversation and tell a story. That is for sure. But we are going to be talking about the box office. And I know you guys are like, wow, they talk about how the box office is garbage over the past like 2 months. Well, it has been, and it's been super surprising and super sad, to be honest with you. I mean, we do know that The Running Man and Now You See Me, Now You Don't are heading towards a box office face-off this weekend. Both movies are predicted to open with about $20 million to $25 million. Paramount's dystopian thriller, The Running Man, has made 1.5 or 1.9 million in previews, while Lionsgate's Magic Heist movie, the third installment of the franchise, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, edged out in about $2.1 million on Thursday night previews. Both movies are on track to at least beat last weekend's box office champion, which was Disney's Predator Badlands, which made estimated to make about 18 to 20 million in its second weekend. That sounds good, but with the budgets of 110 to 90 million respectively, both films need to stick around through Thanksgiving to clear a profit, which I
Yeah.
don't think will be a problem until you get Wicked for Good. That's coming at the end of November, and
Yeah.
that's when things are going to be wickedly bad for these two films.
Yeah, they have the benefit of having a couple of week gap before a huge one comes out. The question is can they keep each other in the race long enough to get to Wicked, right? Or will they cancel each other out? That it looked like the Thursday night previews, that's kind of what was happening. 1.9, 2.1. Neither one could get like a big audience. So it's either going to help each other, I think, or they're going to cancel each other out before heading into Wicked. So good luck, Glenn, and good luck, guys, with Now You See Me Down. This one's interesting. This next one. Hollywood, we've talked about how things are changing, right? Well, how do you combat big $110 million budgets or $90 million budgets and making a profit? How about making budgets of 150,000 or 200 grand? That doesn't sound right. Well, yeah, micro dramas have apparently taken hold in Hollywood lately. Now, these are movies shot quickly for budgets, as I said, between 150 grand, 200 grand for a feature-length film, y'all, which is unheard of these days. Then it's distributed, get this, here's the crazy part, in segments of 2 minutes or less. A series of cliffhangers leads to a paywall prompting the viewer to sign up for a certain app, like Drama Box, Real Short, Flare Flow, or so on, to watch the whole story. Now, writers are expected to churn these things out, one script a month, and make around 80,000 for the year, which is obviously well below even WGA rates. Well, what are actors thinking about it? Well, last month, SAG-AFTRA took a stab at creating a contract that would allow microdrama producers to shoot with union actors. The deal includes rock-bottom minimum rates of $250 a day for lead performers, which, by the way, guys, we pay our actors in our indie films, so that tells you what that is. 164 for everyone else, plus provisions for overtime, pension, and health contributions, and standard protections for stunts and sex scenes. This is interesting. I mean, to drop a feature-length film in 2-minute segments over a series of time with a budget of only 150 grand. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it could be good, but I don't know.
Yeah, they still try to capitalize on the short form, I guess attention span.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we saw this a couple years ago with Quibi, but maybe like with the period of time that Quibi came out, like it wasn't successful. Maybe it would have been more successful today because it seems like they're kind of reinventing that model with this. I don't know, man. I really don't. I mean, with the popularity of TikTok, of course, TikTok was around back then, but it wasn't as popularized and the biggest app in the world. But now it is. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that moves forward and how creators attack writing these scripts and getting them knocked out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting and definitely something to keep an eye on, especially if you're an
Editors.
up and coming filmmakers and editors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
editors for sure, right? Like,
Well, you brought up SAG-AFTRA, and we're heading into the 32nd edition on March 31st of 2026. The SAG Awards, through which, of course, through SAG-AFTRA, the largest acting union in the world that celebrates performances in film and on television, is getting a new name. The Actors Awards, they're going to be calling it. John Brockett, the showrunner and executive producer of the award show's telecast, and Jo Beth Williams, an actress and chair of the SAG-AFTRA Awards Committee, announced the news on Friday. Now, they're calling it, in a joint statement, a perfect new step in the show's evolution. Within the Hollywood's landscape, everyone knows that the SAG stands for Screen Actors Guild. But out in the rest of the world, to all you normies out there, a show that's called the SAG Awards has raised questions. But now it's been streaming on Netflix for the past like 2 or 3
yeah.
years. And ever since, its organizers have been tinkering with its format to make it more appealing to the global audience, and this may change further that agenda. I don't think this is a bad decision. I definitely don't. I think, people might even, yeah, get more interested in it because we talk about all the time the attention span, especially with us being like semi content creators. That first 3 to 5 seconds on a video or a post is the most important thing. So if people see SAG Awards, they're going to have no idea what that is. But if they see Actors Awards, that's going to click faster than what the other. So I think this is a good idea. This is a good name change, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it never made sense to me to keep it called the SAG Awards anyway, since the union of the mergers, right? It's SAG after, which is the Screen Actors Guild, which is movies, and after, which is the American Federation of TV Performers. All right, stop complaining. Calm down. You're going into the weekend and you'll be able to watch your sports, okay? If you're a YouTube TV person, you'll be able to watch your sports. Why? Because ESPN, ABC, and other Disney TV networks are finally coming back to YouTube TV. Yes, after their long little bitter fight, Google and Disney finally ended the standoff, announcing a multi-year agreement yesterday, Friday, depending on when you're listening to this, on pricing terms for a renewed carriage deal for YouTube TV. Now, Disney's nets went dark, as you guys know, on the internet TV service just before midnight last week on October 30th. After the two sides remained far apart on a deal before the expiration of their current contract. Now, under the new agreement, ESPN's full lineup of sports, including content from ESPN Unlimited, will be made available on YouTube TV to base plan subscribers at no additional cost by the end of 2026. In addition, access to selection of live and on-demand programming from ESPN Unlimited will be available inside YouTube TV. The deal also lets YouTube TV include Disney Plus and Hulu bundles as part of select YouTube offerings. According to Disney, the select networks will be included in various genre-specific packages that YouTube TV expects to launch in the future. That's all great and handy, but what people were really fuming about is it's football season and it's getting into the nitty-gritty. Nobody can watch sports. So this is a good move. I think, yay, finally. It's like, come on.
Well, Disney closed out its 2025 fiscal year on the streaming high note, delivering a healthy quarterly subscriber growth for Disney Plus and Hulu, of course. The final quarter, the media giant will report subscriber figures at a 39% increase in direct-to-consumer operating income. Now, the Mouse House reported a combined 195.7 million with Disney Plus and Hulu subscriptions as of September 27th, and an increase of 12.4 million for the 3-month period, which topped Wall Street estimates by 2.1 million. Now, Disney Plus subscribers increased by 3.8 million in the quarter to hit 131.6 million, including a net gain of 1.5 million in the US and in Canada to stand at 59.3 million. I know that's a lot of numbers, guys. Just keep up with me. Helped to boost Disney Plus signups in the quarter was the September 3rd release of the streamer live action remake of Lilo and Stitch.
For sure.
Which was, of course, was a box office smash over the summer. The film had 14.3 million views during its first 5 days on Disney Plus, making it the second biggest live action premiere on the streamer after 2023's Little Mermaid, which had 16 million views in the first 5 days. Disney also called out Alien Earth, the new FX's biggest premiere ever on Disney Plus and Hulu. Now, Hulu netted about 8.6 million new subscribers, primarily from Disney's expanded distribution deal with Charter to provide an ad-supported version of Hulu to all of Charter Spectrum TV select customers with no additional charge. This only makes sense with the integration continuing to happen and with bigger projects continuing to be put on both of these streamers. That their subscribers are going to be insane. So yeah, they're rocking and rolling, man. Like they are highly exceeding expectations when it comes to their streaming numbers.
Yeah, which came at the most unfortunate time for them when they're trying to, go back and forth with YouTube TV about not wanting to pay the price that YouTube TV was asking when they just released their quarterly numbers and they were all huge. They were above expectations. So it's hard to tell YouTube TV you don't have the money to pay the price they're asking when you just said, oh no, we made a whole bunch of money. Oops. Okay, so with all those new subscribers though, right, let's dive into that. What do you do? Well, if you're ready to play a game, starring Stitch on Disney Plus, maybe create some kind of personalized AI animated version of the chaotic but oh so adorable alien form in Lilo and Stitch. Now you can share that with your friends. Why? Because Disney Plus, which as Logan said is in the process of merging with Hulu fully, is preparing the biggest and most significant changes from a product perspective since the streaming service launched in 2019. This, according to CEO Bob Iger. He recently sketched out Disney Plus's future roadmap, which, get this, guys, includes games, commerce, and AI user-generated content. The big vision, he said, particularly with the deployment of AI, is to be able to leverage Disney Plus as a portal to all things Disney. Iger also said that he's excited that AI is going to give the company the ability to provide users at Disney Plus with a much more engaged experience, including the ability for them to create user-generated content and to consume user-generated content, mostly in short form from others. Now, Iger didn't identify which AI companies Disney has spoken to, but he said it's obviously imperative for Disney to protect its intellectual properties using this new technology, and that they've been pretty engaged on that subject with a number of entities, that he's hopeful that ultimately we'll be able to reach some sort of an agreement with the industry or these companies that would allow this to happen while also reflecting the need for Disney to protect the property. That makes sense because we're seeing AI companies all of a sudden already out there creating AI images of Mickey Mouse and all these licensed people without permission. So it only makes sense that if you're going to enter into a deal to create AI generated stuff, you got to have it locked down to where it protects that intellectual property, because if not, what's the point?
Yeah, most definitely. And I do think it's going to be very interesting to see how that the AI, creative aspect is going to come for its
Yeah.
consumers. So that's going to be very cool. The game iteration, that is not surprising to me because Netflix has been experimenting with games on their streaming platform for the last year and a half, 2 years. And it's going decently well. I mean, you have like games like Grand Theft Auto and
Yeah.
freaking, a whole bunch of random stuff on there. So this makes sense. Disney is following in their footsteps. But what also makes sense is Disney making headway when it comes to trailers this past week. Man,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, they're always pushing the boundary with trailers, and they know how to cut one. That's for sure. They decided to drop two summer 2026 trailers this past week with 20th Century's Devil Wears Prada 2 and Pixar's Toy Story 5. Both teaser trailers, but still both very, very exciting.
Huge.
Each posting massive reach numbers in their first 24 hours. Now, Devil Wears Prada 2 posted $185 million viewers first day, making it the second most viewed trailer in the year to date behind Fantastic Four First Steps, which clocked in about 202 million views in its first 24 hours after dropping. It also became the most viewed trailer year to date on Instagram with 79 million views and drew in about 60 million views on TikTok. The movie teased the box office on May 1st of next year. Now let's go over to Toy Story 5, the new iteration of the beloved child classic, which opens the traditional Pixar stomping ground on Father's Day weekend,
Yes.
June 19th through the 21st in 2026. Now, that teaser trailer generated about 142 million views in its first 24 hours of its trailer being dropped, landing it above the first content dropped of other animated films like Despicable Me 4, which had a $75 million opening, Kung Fu Panda 4, which had about a $57.9 million opening, and the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie, which had, of course, about $146.3 million in its 3-day opening, or the Super Mario Brother, the new one's the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Right.
From the viewer perspective, Instagram drove most of the 47 million, followed by TikTok at 37 million views. In addition, launch sparked over 142 social mentions across all platforms and an upper tier of our comps, with the film being related to its characters rising to number 2 and number 3 on the Twitter and X search streaming trending charts. So that only makes sense. I personally have watched the Devil Wears Prada one at least 10 times.
Yeah.
It's just so exciting. And they look like they literally just filmed the first one. They still look the exact same. Miranda and
Anne Hathaway. Yeah.
Andy. I knew it started with an A. But yeah, Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep still look amazing. Super excited about that. And then Toy Story 5 also looked really good with the CGI effects. So I'm really excited what the computer animation is going to bring with that and electronics being the new bad guy. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fun.
Only makes sense, right? That was the eventual transition the whole time with the electronic toys coming into it. So
Had to.
that's gonna be awesome. I love that. I love that. And can we do any industry news every week for Disney and not talk about Marvel? Of course we can. They've got Marvel news. Newcomer Lauren Moraes and Diane Morgan, best known on TV screens for her comedy creation Philoma Kunk, have joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe as part of the upcoming Disney Plus series Vision Quest. As you guys know, this one's being described as the third part of a trilogy that includes WandaVision and Agatha All Along. The show sees Paul Bettany reprise his role as the superpowered android Vision alongside James Spader, Todd Stashwick, Ruha Malik, Tina Miller, Emily Hampshire, Orla Brady, Henry Lewis, Jonathan Sayer, and James Darcy. I could tell you who they all play, but I'm a geek and go look it up for yourself. Created by Terry Matalas, the 8-episode Vision Quest, part of the MCU's Phase 6, shot in the UK's Pinewood Studios earlier this year, and is scheduled to debut on Disney Plus late next year. I'm excited about that one. I always like this storyline with White Vision and Vision Quest. It's going to be a good one. It's going to set up a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'm pumped for this.
For sure, for sure. Well, FX's smash hit Shogun will begin production on season 2 in Vancouver in January. And the series has been unveiled, and its new and returning cast members, newcomers for season 2, include Asimi Muzaki as Aya, Musaka Kabuta for Haji, Sho Kenta as Himbandu, Taki Anzoki for Lord Aito, and Jun Kamarari for Goda. Sorry for all of that.
No, yeah.
They joined the cast of recurring stars Haruki Sanda as Cosmo Jarvis, as well as Fumi Nikodoi and Sunuki Adi, Hiroto Kanai, Yoko. A lot of cast members are coming back.
Yes.
Guys. According to the official logline, Shogun Season 2 is set 10 years after the events of Season 1, and it continues the historically inspired saga of these two men from different worlds whose fates intertwine, of course. Now, of course, Shogun Season 1 broke the record for most Emmy Award wins by the series in a single season with 18 statues.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sanda became the first Japanese actor in history to win an Emmy for Best Lead Actor in a Drama. Anna Sawai also became the first actress of Asian descent to win the Best Lead Actress in a Drama. Yeah, 2 years ago, they racked in those awards.
Oh, yeah.
So congratulations to them. Super exciting.
Yeah, the only downside is, guys, if you were like me and the biggest part of the show that you loved the most was Anna Sawai as Mariko, she's not coming back, apparently. Dan Fogelman, we know he's loyal to his people, and guess what? He's recruiting another This Is Us alum for his upcoming Hulu football drama, Omar Epps. Yeah, set to recur on the Untitled series, whose cast, of course, as we told you, is led by Christopher Maloney, which also includes This Is Us star Mandy Moore. Now, created and written by Fogelman, this is way outside This Is Us. This series is set in the world of the NFL and has a generational family component to it. Maloney plays the team's head coach Danny with fellow series regulars Sam Corlett and Tanner Zaganaro as his sons, William H. Macy as the team owner Hank Moore, and Chloe Bennett as Hank's daughter, and Chase Crawford as the team's new general manager. Epps will apparently play former NFL player who is now the offensive coordinator. Damn, that's a solid cast. I'm looking forward to that one, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, completely different from This Is Us, so we're going to see how it goes. Man, I'm super excited, though. We're heading over to Fox now. That has unveiled their winter schedule, setting premiere dates for new series like Memory of a Killer. That's starring my homeboy, Patrick Dempsey. Got him on the speed dial.
Yes.
And Michael Improrley. And, of course, the Johnny Knoxville hosted reboot of Fear Factor, which has been titled Fear Factor, A House of Fear. A new medical drama as well, Best Medicine, will have a series premiere on January 6th, following by the new episode of Doc. The Dennis Leary starring sitcom Going Dutch returns for season 2 on January 15th. And then, of course, fan favorites like The Masked Singer and The Next Level Chef will return in July. While animated classics like Family Guy and American Dad are coming back in February. On February 15th, though, The Simpsons will air a special 800th episode. Wow, that's insane, man. Rockin' and rollin'. I don't know if that thing will ever go off the air.
I don't think so, bro. I mean, a lot of people don't realize I was a teenager when that show came on, bro. That's how long. I'm 55. I'm a senior citizen now. Jesus, man, that's unheard of to have a show last that long. That's just good for them, though. I think you're right. Until the actors say they don't want to do it anymore, I think Fox will keep it. It's just, man. All right, going over to the disaster drama reality show that is better known as Warner Brothers Discovery right now. They have set a November 20th deadline for the first wave of bids for their storied studio, HBO, and linear cable channels. But guess what? A prominent Republican U.S. representative has weighed in on the bidding war, warning the Trump administration officials that Netflix's potential acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery's HBO Max and its entertainment studios raises antitrust concerns that could result in harm to consumers. Last month, of course, Warner Brothers Discovery announced that it had received inbound acquisition interest from multiple parties and has commenced a process to review those offers. David Ellison's Paramount Skydance is known to have submitted bids for Warner Brothers Discovery in its entirety, while Netflix and Comcast have been putting together bids for just the company's streaming and studio operations. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery is aiming to have the process wrapped up by the end of the year. Now, the reason this is interesting is because this warning to the Trump administration that it might violate antitrust and could cause harm and a monopoly and all that, only focusing on Netflix. They say the reason is because Netflix is the most dominant streamer, and adding Max and the streaming subscribers and all that into Netflix would be an unfair advantage to all the rest of the streamers. All of those mergers are potentially monopolistic and unfair advantages to the other studios. The difference being is that Paramount is buddy-buddy with the Trump administration, so of course the senator is not going to say that's a conflict of interest. It's interesting how we're seeing the political side of it pick sides as to who they will and won't, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, approve the merger with. And that, guys and gals, is dangerous for all of us. That is not how it's supposed to work. We're going to keep an eye on it, but it's getting, I don't have words. Like I said, it's a fucking reality show in the making, and it's just disturbing.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. And then meanwhile, Warner Brothers Discovery has clarified and amended elements of CEO David Zaslav's employment agreement as it seems as planned of the separation of the company may become something else, like a spinoff or a sale. Now, amid a strategic review process not initially envisioned, the company said in an SEC filing Thursday, quote, "While we are continuing to advance our plans to separate our streaming and studio businesses like Warner Brothers from our global networks business like Discovery Global, a board of directors has been initiated a review of a strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value. And we, of course, commend the strategic review in response to unsolicited interest from multiple parties and intend to evaluate a broad range of options, including a transaction for the entire company or separate transactions for Warner Brothers and or Discovery Global." No one cares about Discovery Global.
Yeah.
In connection with the strategic review, Warner Brothers Discovery and CEO David Zaslav agreed to clarify and amend his employment agreement and his non-qualified stock option agreement, both of which were originally entered into on June 12th of 2025, back when we were focused on the separation of Warner Brothers and Discovery Global and intended to secure David Zaslav's leadership of Warner Brothers Discovery through the separation. And following that, as CEO of Warner Brothers, meaning the amendment ensures David Zaslav's signing options remain outstanding and eligible to vest and to be exercised, which no matter what, he's wrote it into his contract that he is going to get paid. Like, dude's freaking super lucrative and one of the highest paid CEOs in the freaking world and has like one of the worst companies in the entertainment
Yeah.
industry when it comes to, stock numbers. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I would agree with you when you said nobody cares about Discovery Global. There's a reason they were splitting the company into two and trying to just pretend Discovery Global wasn't all part of it, right? There's a reason for that. I think no matter who ends up with this thing, Discovery Global is going bye-bye. I'm going to go on record and say though that if Paramount somehow manages to get it all, Zaslav, while his contract may be intact, they're going to fire him because Trump doesn't like Zaslav. Zaslav clearly is not a Trump supporter, which is why I think he's turned down the Paramount offer 3 times now. They'll get rid of him. They'll say, here's your stock options. Here's a wealthy parachute, golden parachute. Get the fuck out. I am on record to say that if Paramount wins this bidding war, Zaslav is gone. He will not remain CEO of Warner Brothers Pictures. That's just not going to happen. We'll see, but good for him for getting it exercised into the contract. Whatever. We'll see. I'll be happy when he's gone anyway. Warner Brothers on Thursday released the official trailer. Official trailer, guys. No more sneak peeks, little teases, blah, blah, blah. First official trailer for Wuthering Heights. Writer-director Emerald Fennell's take on Emily Bronte's gothic romance novel that stars, of course, the lovely and talented Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. Now, this pick is gearing up for a Valentine's weekend 2026 premiere in theaters. Now, Bronte's 1847 novel follows 2 families, the Earnshaws and the Lintons, and the turbulent relationship they have when the Earnshaws' foster son, Heathcliff, at the core and has been noted after the release of a teaser a couple of months ago in the steamy, forbidden relationship between Catherine Earnshaw and Heathcliff. The new footage is set against Charlie XCX's new song, Chains of Love, from her album Wuthering Heights, written specifically for the film. Now, this one hits theaters on February 13th, as I said, right for Valentine's Day, and yeah, they're playing up the sex appeal. There's no doubt about it. In everything we've seen, any little piece of footage, image, or video, it's all about they're sexy people and they're going to be having sex. I mean, there's a marketing strategy and it's not a stupid one. Sex sells and they're going for it, man.
That is the iconic phrase, that's for sure. Well, everybody's super excited about this because it's a huge popular series and very, very recommended and accommodated. Mad Men is coming to HBO Max on December 1st, right around the corner. The beloved series starring John Hamm will be also available in 4K for the first time ever for premium subscribers. Now, of course, Mad Men is not currently available to watch on any major streamer. The series, which is set in one of New York's most prestigious advertising agencies in the 1960s, won 4 consecutive Emmys for Best Drama among 16 total wins and 116 nominations. Creator Matthew Weiner, the show ran from 2007 to 2015 on AMC, if y'all did not know. So super exciting.
All right, DC Studios and HBO Max, right? Disney can't do without Marvel. Well, Warner Brothers can't do without DC. And apparently they are developing a fictional true crime series. This is interesting. A fictional true crime series set in the DC universe titled DC Crime. Now, the show would be presented as a true crime docuseries hosted by Jimmy Olsen. The first season would focus on Gorilla Grodd, a DC villain best known for his battles with The Flash. This is interesting. James Gunn and Peter Safran of DC Studios would executive produce this bad boy with DC Studios' Glenn Valsman overseeing production. Now, Warner Brothers Television is the studio. Grodd, if you didn't know, is a member of a highly intelligent society of gorillas that gained psychic powers and other abilities after coming into contact with an alien spaceship. Now, the character first appeared in the pages of DC Comics all the way back in 1959. He has been featured across a number of DC animated and live-action films, while character made multiple appearances in CW's Arrowverse shows, most notably The Flash. This only makes sense. They're kind of setting this up with Brainiac and everything coming with the alien, and it only makes sense. I think where we saw Peacemaker end up, maybe that's where we run into Gorilla Grodd. Not smart yet, and maybe the alien with Brainiac and all that. Who knows? But I'm excited. Gorilla Grodd's always been an interesting character.
Yeah, you have so many unlimited possibilities when it comes to the comic book adaptation. So yeah, it is very cool. Jimmy Olsen also is a very popular guy, so I feel like that's going to be very successful. Super excited for that to come to life, that's for sure. Well, a V for Vendetta TV series is also currently in the works and development at HBO. Now, according to sources, Pete Jackson is attached to write the series adaptation. James Gunn and Peter Safran from DC Studios will executive produce, as will Ben Stephenson via Poison Pen and Leanne Klein from Wall to Wall Media, which is part of Warner Brothers Television Studios in UK. Warner Brothers Television will produce V for Vendetta. Began as a comic book series written by Alan Moore and illustrated by David Lloyd. It debuted in 1982 in the British anthology Warrior, with DC taking over publishing it in 1988. The story is set in Britain in a dystopian, not too distant future in which the country is controlled by a Fascinic Norse Fire Party, an antichrist named V, known as the Distinct Guy, Fox Mask, seeks to topple the government with the help of Evie Hammond, a young woman V rescued from the country's secret police. Super excited about this. I haven't seen V for Vendetta. I've heard it's amazing, so I'm excited for the television show to come to life. And James Gunn and DC Studios, it seems like their plan that they released in that video is definitely going off the rails a little bit. But
Yeah.
it's okay. I feel like it's for better for worse.
I think so, and if the same people involved get like who did Watchmen, because Alan Moore also was the creator of Watchmen, and that did huge in the movie and on the TV side. So if they can, do it half as well as that, I think it's going to be really good. All right, Paramount. What's happening at Paramount, other than the fact that they desperately are trying to buy Warner Brothers? Let's talk about what they want to do. Paramount made it official this week that its theatrical release slate growing, boom, exploding to at least 15 movies to hit theaters in 2026, with an ultimate goal of producing 20 movies annually. Now, Paramount boss David Ellison mentioned that the studio pre-merger only had 8 theatrical releases annually, so that's a huge jump. We looked it up, we checked it out, and currently there are 9 from the studio expected to hit theaters. The studio's 2025 film slate, though, has underperformed, with most titles expected to miss their lifetime profit targets. So why would you expand to 20 if you're not making any money? I don't know, but that's the plan, and they're gonna try, so.
So many publications came out and said this past week Ellison's goal is strictly to focus, not strictly, but main focus on theatrical performances rather than the actual streamer. So we will see how he does, man. We will see how he does. Well, we do know that Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, the duo behind Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and the screenplay Spider-Man Homecoming, are enlisting to Starfleet. Now, they've been hired to write, produce, and direct the new Star Trek film that will seek to revitalize the franchise after its languish for nearly a decade without a big screen adventure. Now, the new film will not be a continuation of the J.J. Abrams-led reboot of the series and won't feature Chris Pine or any of the actors from those movies. Now, Pine starred in Goldstein and Daly's obviously Dungeons and Dragons film. In fact, while the plot details are being kept under wraps, of course, this project is connected to any previous or current television series, movie, or prior development projects. Getting a new Star Trek out of the dry dock has been a priority for Paramount since David Ellison Skydance took control of the company in August, because the series is one of the most enduring properties in the studio's library. So we shall see, man. We shall see.
Yeah, and this is interesting because we were literally just talking about this week with in our staff meeting that prior to the merger, it had no longer become a priority. Star Trek seemed to have bitten the dust. Nobody cared about it. So it's interesting that he is like, no, we're going to push Star Trek because it's so important. And these series of stories is interesting because like what you just said, he has made it clear that the theatrical and film slate is the priority. And yet, we're hearing differently, even though he's saying that and publications are running that. I think there's a lot of confusion happening inside this company, which might not be good, you guys. They also laid out plans to significantly expand the television studio's output after the acquisition. The company operates, as you guys know, 2 major television studios, CBS Studios and Paramount TV Studios. After its first financial results since the deal closed, the company said it plans to grow this greatly, as well as continuing to sell and produce TV titles for linear channels. We anticipate a significant expansion of our total television studio output over the coming years, encompassing titles to be distributed both on our own platforms and licensed to third parties, David Ellison said in a letter to his shareholders. Now, this comes after it recently struck a 5-year deal, of course, with South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker, 4-year deal with Stranger Things creators the Duffer Brothers, as well as a first-look TV deal with Jessica Biel and Michelle Purple's Iron Productions. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because Ellison also said that CBS is the flagship asset for Paramount Skydance, and said that streaming is its top priority, with plans for an increase in spending to Paramount Plus. He also gave a shout out to, of course, the 4th season of Mayor of Kingstown that just dropped, upcoming season of Landman, and final seasons of Yellow Jackets and The Chi. What is going on, David? Is it the film side that's the priority, or is the flagship of the company the television side? Or is it both? We need to know, because you're confusing shareholders, and that's going to make things tricky. I'm just saying.
That's for sure. And they're trying to get money everywhere they can, because Paramount Skydance is planning to charge more for streaming for Paramount Plus. It will rise the pricing in the U.S. starting January 15th of 2026. Now, the Paramount Plus Essential Ad-Supported plan will increase by $1 to $8.99 per month. Everything's basically going to increase by $1. The premium plan will rise to $13.99 a month. The annual plans will also increase as well, although they still work out a discount on the monthly basis. Of course, the essential plan will be $89.99 per year. That's $7.50 a month. The premium plan to $139.99 per year. That's $11.57 per month, but you have to pay it annually, of course. Those are up $59.99 annually for, and 119 annually for premium. The company said that even after the January 2026 price hikes, Paramount will remain one of the most competitively priced streaming services in the U.S. Whatever, man.
Yeah, they're all getting too crazy. It's too crazy. Well, are you ready, kids? And grown-ups, let's be honest about it. It's time to revisit Bikini Bottom and its underwater inhabitants with the first trailer for the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. Now, long ago, we're told one sailor fell under a wicked curse. The only way to lift this curse is to find the world's most innocent soul. You have one guess, I'm betting, who that is. Desperate to be a big guy, SpongeBob sets out to prove his bravery to Mr. Krabs by following the Flying Dutchman, a mysterious swashbuckling ghost pirate, on a seafaring comedy adventure that takes him to the deepest depths of the deep sea, with no sponge has gone before. Now, Tom Kenny, of course, is back as the voice of the 21st century's most popular toon character, as the usual SpongeBob SquarePants suspects, Clancy Brown as Mr. Krabs, Roger Bumkess as Squidward, Bill Fabricacker as Patrick Star, Carolyn Lawrence as Sandy, and Mr. Lawrence as Plankton. Now, also along for the swim are George Lopez, Isis Ice Spice Gaston, Arturo Castro, and Sherry Cola, with Regina Hall and Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And what's really been interesting, though, with Paramount and Paramount Plus, the upcoming seasons of Nickelodeon's kids animated series Dora and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles seems to be, two iconic household names of content for children's television. That will be their last. Season 2 of the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles premieres on Paramount Plus in December and will run on Nicktoons next year, but the debut of Dora's 4th season on the streamer is to be determined. It's followed by a linear window at Nick Jr. A 5th and final season of Dora will be produced, but its fate is unclear. Paramount's actively exploring third-party licensing opportunities for both streamers, though, so you might see them somewhere else, something that the company has been doing consistently for a number of years, with a number of Nickelodeon titles available on Netflix, for example. Now, the cancellation decisions come on the heels of post-Paramount Skydance merger restructuring, of course, so this only makes sense. They're trying to cut costs where they can, even when that comes to children's television, which I feel like is always a bankable thing. So here we go.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's all about that money, man. And jumping over to NBC Universal, and great news for my box office draft. Universal's Wicked for Good is bound to cast a huge spell at the pre-Thanksgiving box office. Fandango is reporting that the John M. Chu directed second chapter in the best PG-rated ticket pre-seller of all time. In addition, the Universal theatrical release is the best advanced ticket seller of 2025. Advanced tickets for Wicked for Good went on sale October 8th. The biggest domestic opening year to date, in addition to being the biggest for the year as far as PG ratings go, is of course Warner Brothers and Legendary's A Minecraft movie, which was also on my box office draft. The Cynthia Erivo Ariana Grande movie's advanced ticket sales unseat the previous PG rated top sellers, Beauty and the Beast, and last year's Wicked and 2019's Frozen at the same point in the sales cycle. Now, as the biggest ticket pre-seller year to date, Wicked for Good surpasses Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle, Superman, and, yes, even Taylor Swift, you guys, the official release party of a showgirl at the same point in the sales cycle. So, yeah, it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be big.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. It's so big that they decided to put this singing theatrical special on NBC. And
Yes.
I mean, it racked up a lot of freaking numbers, man. 3.6 million viewers on NBC. I mean, that's the second highest rating special of the year after, of course, SNL 50, the anniversary special. The viewership did also go up 64% because they did this last year with the other film coming out from the 2024 special, Defying Gravity. Now, the curtains rises on Wicked. The special came, of course, weeks before the November 21st theatrical release for Wicked for Good. The film sees, of course, the witches Elphaba and Glenda estranged after visiting the Emerald City. Of course, per the official logline, that when a girl from Kansas comes crashing into their lives, they will need to come together one final time and truly see one another if they are to change themselves and all of Oz for good. The first Wicked movie, of course, will be airing on NBC on November 19th at 8 p.m. in the anticipation for the sequel. So that's super exciting, and NBC and Universal is so behind this thing. It's really awesome to see.
It really is. And what a smart move to air the first one 2 days before the second one comes out in theaters. That's brilliant.
Right.
Brilliant. It's sad though when you think about it because you kind of know the ending. They're such besties and they're going to reunite. And they're going to do what's best, but she dies.
Yeah.
What's a Elphaba? She dies. The Wicked Witch dies. Oh my gosh. This one is crazy. This is a little nugget of news that came out of Universal, which we all thought, whoa. Christopher Nolan revealed recently that he has shot over 2 million feet of film during the making of The Odyssey, which filmed for 91 days earlier this year. Now, this movie is Nolan's adaptation of Homer Greek's epic and marks his follow-up project to Oppenheimer, which won Nolan the Oscars for Best Picture and Director. Now get this, Kodak gave us a little bit of knowledge here in case you didn't know. A foot of 65 millimeter film, which is what they shoot on IMAX type size, 65 millimeter, a foot, y'all. Remember, 2 million feet, 1 foot costs $1.50. This means that Nolan's film used around $3 million of just film. Just film. This is why it's gone digital, y'all. Film is expensive, and not a lot of studios allow filmmakers to use film anymore. It's pretty much all. But Nolan is one of the rare filmmakers that demands to shoot on film, and, well, it's costly. Is it worth it? Matt Damon thinks so. He reunites with Nolan after Interstellar and Oppenheimer to headline The Odyssey in the lead role of Odysseus. Tom Holland plays his son. The sprawling ensemble also includes Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, and Johnny Bernthal. The Odyssey is set to release on July 17th, 2026 for Universal. And according to Matt, it's everything a summer movie should be and you would want it to be and more. So, okay, we're going to find out.
Super excited about that. Tom Holland's clip or picture just hit the airwaves a couple days ago, so that's super exciting. It's going to be a big film, man. I'm already thinking Oscar nominated.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, of course. Well, Sabrina Carpenter has inked a deal to star and produce an untitled musical inspired by Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland for Universal Pictures. Now, for Carpenter, the project will mark the first attempt at anchoring a major studio picture. Now, plot details are under wraps, of course, but the DGA Award and two-time Emmy nominee Lauren Scarfara from Hustlers and Succession will set to direct from her own script. Now, in addition to Carpenter, Mark Platt will produce through Universal-based Mark Platt Productions, which releases Wicked for Good with Universal on November 21st. Universal's spin on the property comes from the following of Tim Burton's directed Alice in Wonderland that came out in 2010, which grossed more than $1 billion worldwide. Now, the sequel, Alex Through the Looking Glass in 2016 from James Bobin, which fared less well, grossing in about $300 million, which is a drastic difference. But I mean, Sabrina Carpenter is the it girl right now. She is right behind Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift is kind of grooming her to be that next it girl, which is kind of cool to see. But yeah, I think her getting back into the acting game, because if y'all don't know, she was an actress in Girl Meets World for Disney. So I think this is going to be very successful, and she's got a heavy hitting team behind this project, so it's going to be good, man.
She really does, and she screams Alice, right? If anybody looks like Alice from Alice in Wonderland, it's Sabrina Carpenter, and she can certainly sing and she can act. So yeah, I think this is going to be a winner. I agree with you. In a surprising twist coming out of Universal, Poker Face has been canceled at Peacock after 2 seasons, and Ryan Johnson's not happy about it, apparently. He and Natasha Lyonne are trying to keep the bullshit detective Charlie Calley alive with a twist. Sources say that Johnson and producer MRC are shopping around a new iteration of Poker Face, with Peter Dinklage taking over for Leone in the lead role. They are seeking a 2-season order from a different distributor, and he envisions a new actor rotating in for the lead role every 2 seasons. Don't worry, Leone would stay on the series as an executive producer, while Johnson would remain a writer and director. It's unclear who would serve as a showrunner. Nora Zuckerman and Lila Zuckerman led the show in the first season, and Tony Tost took over for season 2. Good luck. We'll see if that lands or flies, but I know it was a popular show that just kind of faded, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, 16 Emmy nominations, 2 wins. It was very popular, but yeah, it did kind of fade. You're right. It's going to be very interesting to see how and when, if we ever get another interpretation of this. Well, going over to Sony, it's not enough that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan have to reunite for the newest installment of Columbia Pictures' Jumanji, but now of the supporting players have come back as well. We got Babe Newirth, Danny DeVito, Lauren Morris, Maren Hinkle, Nick Jonas, Ryan Darby, all set to come back to the call sheet of production, which began this past week in Los Angeles with director Jake Kasdan coming back as well. Dan Heidenbrand from Game of Thrones and Jack Quaid from Criminal Minds have also joined the productions as new cast members. Plot details are being kept under wraps in the vault behind the Dustin Cave, but it is known that Jeff Prinker and Scott Rosenberg wrote the script. The new installment has a release date of December 11th of 2026. That'll be a good holiday family movie in my opinion. It is funny though, because the internet kind of was hating on The Rock because he was like, I'm only going to make movies for me now. I'm only going to do like these storyteller films. His next film after The Smashing Machine is Jumanji, a huge franchise IP. It's like, but I feel like that set is different because he makes that movie because he enjoys being on set with those people. So haters gonna hate, just chill the hell out, man. Chill the hell out.
Yeah, and haters, as normal, are almost always uninformed and uneducated. He was locked into contract for another one, guys.
Yeah.
Whether he's doing movies for himself or not, he's under contract to do another Jumanji, and if the studio says we're gonna do one, he's got to do it. I mean, just what the hell, man? This one is interesting. If you're a Gen Xer or old like me, you remember Viewmasters? You know, the little red thing that looked like binoculars, had the little handle on the side, and you put your little slide in and you kind of watch a little movie? Well, Oscar-nominated screenwriter, producer, and director Phil Johnston will write the Viewmaster live-action 4-quadrant feature film for Mattel Studios. Yep, they're making a movie of this thing. Sony Pictures Entertainment and Escape Artists based on the 86-year-old 3D Image toy. As I said, the handheld stereoscopic viewing device has been popular for generations of children, whereby a viewer can click through a series of 3D images located on a round disc, which you inserted in. Now, for decades, studios teamed with Viewmaster with disc reels containing images from their TV shows and movies. Best known for co-directing and co-writing Disney's Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet, Johnston also co-wrote the animated comedy Zootopia, all of which were box office hits, so you would think this one will be. Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet earned Oscar nominations for Best Animated Feature in 2013 and 2019, respectively. I have no idea how you're going to make a movie out of this, or what it would even be about, but okay. I mean, I don't... What? What?
Yeah, it's like an episode of The Studio with the Kool-Aid Man. Like, I mean, they're
Yeah,
making it out
yeah.
of nothing.
It
So
just...
Hollywood's very interesting, that's for sure. But I'm hoping this is going to be our Christmas movie this year, but we're going to have to get the wife on board. I don't know how that's going to
Oh,
go.
come on.
Freaking A24 has released a new trailer for Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie's sports dramedy starring Timothy Chalamet as table tennis prodigy Marty Mosher. Now, set in the 1950s, Marty Supreme follows Marty as he chases his dream of becoming the table tennis champion of the world. The film is a fictionalized account of the real life Marty Rosman, who won 5 world championship medals in table tennis. In October, Marty Supreme received a standing ovation during the secret screening at the 63rd New York Film Festival, where Chalamet and Josh Safdie made a surprise appearance alongside Paltrow, Aktoma Azoni, and co-writer Bronstein. Now, Marty Supreme opens theaters on December 25th. So we shall see. That's a highly anticipated film for me. Super excited about it. And if we do, that means like the last 3 Christmases we've been watching Timothy Chalamet movies.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the hate is completely gone
I,
from this side of the room. Like I'm on board with the
I
Timothy
was
Chalamet fan.
literally just going to say that. This will be the 3rd year in a row that we will watch a Timothy Chalamet movie on Christmas. And yes, your reversal of has just been, whoa,
Well,
whiplash,
really, like
man.
obviously the Bob Dylan movie, but
Yeah.
the speech that he gave at the
Yes.
SAG Awards that completely changed my opinion of him. So super excited about it.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Totally agree. I'm also, we're jumping over to Amazon now, excited about this one. I know my mom is because she's a huge John Grisham fan. As you guys know, John Grisham, basically every damn book he's ever written has been turned into a movie or a TV show, right? Well, in the wake of John Grisham's USA Network series, The Rainmaker, which was a series based off the film, which was based off the book, and the upcoming Universal feature, The Partner, which was going to be directed by Jason Bateman, Prime Video is now developing another adaptation from the Mississippi lawyer turned author. This time, a series based on his 2022 bestseller, which should fire you up, The Boys from Biloxi. Patrick McManus, the co-creator of Hulu's The Girl from Plainville, is executive producing, adapting, and showrunning The Boys from Biloxi under his Littleton Road Productions label. This is an interesting one, guys. The Boys from Biloxi is a high-stakes family crime drama centered on 2 childhood best friends, one a prosecutor, the other a mob heir, forced onto a violent collision course by the sins of their fathers for the soul of their city. This is really interesting, guys, because if you're not familiar with Biloxi's history, the Dixie Mafia and the mob played a prevalent role in the history of Biloxi in the past, and maybe, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, still. So this is going to be really good. Now, will it be shot in Mississippi? Could this be a boost for the filmmaking community? Or will they do out... My guess is likely just outside of it in Alabama or Louisiana where they have better stuff. Come on, get on board, Mississippi. But it seems like maybe they'll come in and do just exterior Biloxi shots, but shoot it somewhere else. I don't know. But this is exciting because this was a great novel. And they always seem to do well. Rainmaker's awesome on USA. So, yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's so interesting too because like New Orleans and Louisiana, like they have film and Baton Rouge, they all have like film commissions that work together, obviously, but they all have their own film commissions. But Mississippi only has one film commission. I
Yeah.
really feel like Gulf Coast should have its own specific film commission because the Gulf Coast is so much different than everything else that is in Mississippi. So you could be able to utilize so much different stuff. So I hope so. I hope they at least film some stuff here. because I mean it's literally based on Biloxi, and it would be very cool. It would be very
It
cool.
wouldn't be the first film though, network television show to be set there and shoot somewhere else. You know, Zoo back in the day was
Yeah.
like it shot in New Orleans, but came over into Biloxi to get certain things or whatever. So, you're right. A Gulf Coast, specifically that 26-mile stretch of Mississippi, it needs a film commission, and maybe it could work with Alabama and Louisiana as maybe forget the 26-mile, just go the extended Gulf
Yeah.
Coast between those three states, maybe even throw in Florida, and work together as a commission to lure production to the Gulf Coast region. I think it would be epic. We'll get on
Completely
that.
agree.
As if we
Yeah,
don't have
right.
enough stuff going on, we'll get on that.
Exactly, exactly. Well, first there was Marley, and now there's Merv.
Oh.
The trailer for Prime Video's Christmas movie, Merv, starring Zoe Deschanel and Charlie Cox, has arrived. In it, Deschanel's Anna tells her dog Merv, who she still shares with now ex-boyfriend Russ, who's played by Charlie Cox, that the couple broke up. Russ is observed at work as a miserable drip lately, realizing that Marv isn't really his usual self, as the
Aw.
dog's owner is now split custody from him. Even the vet tells the former couples that the breakup could effectively affect the dog's routine and causing his depression. Russ has an idea to take Marv on a boys' trip to beach in Florida, where Marv is directed by Jessica Swale and written by Dane Clark and Lindsay Stewart. Now, this will arrive on Prime Video on December 10th, so that's very exciting. Prime does very well with holiday movies. I'm not even gonna lie about it. So kudos to them. Hopefully, it's another good one.
Yeah, and it's two great actors. I love both the actors. My only thing is, it sounds very similar to a film that had just recently come out called Puppy Love with Lucy Hale and Grant Gustin about
Yeah.
a couple that was co-raising a dog after they had broken up. So it's not like an original, but we'll see. All right, jumping over to Netflix. This one has been talked about forever. I was a huge fan of A Different World. And so A Different World coming back in some form of manner has always been on the table. Well, A Different World sequel series, not a reboot, not a revival, but a sequel series has officially been greenlit at Netflix. The show was first reported in development at the streamer back in 2024, while a rare Netflix pilot order for the show was announced in 2025 in March. Now, as with the original show, it will take place at the fictional, historically black college, Hillman College. Malaya Joel Moon will star in the series as Deborah Wayne, the daughter of the original series characters Dwayne and Whitney Gilbert. The official logline states the show follows Deborah as she enters her freshman year at her parents' historically black college university, alma mater, and finds the shadows of her parents difficult to escape. She sets out to build her own legacy while having the time of her life alongside a whole new generation of Hillman's best and brightest. Now, A Different World, if you guys didn't know, began as a spin-off of The Cosby Show and followed Denise Huxtable, of course played by Lisa Bonet, as she attends Hillman. But after Bonet departed the series, fired for getting pregnant, the series followed, the focus shifted to Jasmine Guy's character Whitney and Hardison's character Dwayne. Dawn Lewis, Glenn Turman, Corey Tyler, Lou Myers, Daryl M. Bell, Cree Summer, and Charlene Brown also starred in that one, and Jada Pinkett. It aired for 6 seasons on NBC and was a huge success. So this is going to be an interesting kind of next chapter in the story. I don't know if Bill Cosby's going to be involved in it in some sort of a way or not, but yeah. I do know that Kadeem Hardison and Jasmine Guy have to make an appearance. If they don't, what's the point? They're the parents of her. They've got to. If you don't have Whitney and Dwayne on there, epic fail. Just let it go.
Fail,
Epic
I say.
fail.
Epic
You got to
fail.
let it go. I won't even
man,
watch it
man.
if Whitney and Dwayne aren't on it.
Right.
Just
Well, Netflix is going back to the well with Detective John Luther back on the case. Idris Elba will star in the next Luther movie at Netflix, reuniting actors Ruth Wilson and Dermot Crowley. The streamer's second feature film following the 2023 Luther the Fallen Son, based on the popular BBC television show. Now, Jamie Payne is directing the sequel from the script by series creator Neil Cross. In this chapter, Luther is secretly called back into service when a new wave of brutal, seemingly random murders hits London. But how can he save London when everyone on all sides seems to want him dead? The official longline asks. Films will starting Filming will start in February. Now, Luther first aired on 2010, and it ran intermittently for 5 seasons. Wilson, who didn't appear in the movie The Fallen Sun, will return as serial killer / scientist Alice Morgan. Now, Crowley is reprising his role as police superintendent Martin Schenk. So that's super exciting. Again, back to the well.
Oh yeah. And we're going to jump on over to Apple and end the industry news with something we're extremely excited about and extremely happy for. Our buddy, our friend, our pal, a huge supporter of this show and just all around good human being. Well, Apple Original Films has skyrocketed to preemptively acquire that man, that myth, that legend, J.S. Mayank's, and his writing partner David Carlisle's manuscript, Fallen Astronaut. Now, the auction prevails in publishing for the title. Verve is overseeing the book auction. The manuscript for Fallen Astronaut began circulating with book publishers just last week. Now, we hear that Apple paid high six figures, congrats, JS, to take the book off the table. Scott Glassgold and his 1201 Films are set to produce a movie for Apple, which is billed as Gravity Crossed with a Few Good Men. Now, Mayank and Carlisle will be executive producers on the film. The story is said to have a tech-forward concept, including crucial sequence with VR, which makes it a right project for Apple. Now, Mayank has, in the past, sold original TV pilots to ABC, CBS, and Sci-Fi, and has written on Netflix's The Fame Game. Carlisle is currently readying his first feature film, The Conundrum. Now, together, and our favorite, we love this one, Mayank and Carlisle directed, wrote, and showran the 6-part scripted audio series America 2.0 for Realm, which is how we became across them, became friends with them, and we could not be more happy for JS and David. They are just stellar human beings, and as I said, huge supporters of this show and of us, and have just been great friends, and congratulations. He's just perfect example of hard work and talent paying off, man.
Exactly. 10-year overnight success. That's what we like to say. So congratulations to them. We're super excited and many more to come.
And come on the show. We can't wait to hear all about it.
Exactly. Well, now it is time for our top 5 segment, man. And this week it is top 5 feel-good movies. We're getting into the holiday season. Some people have already put up their tree. I know I have, even though it's not Thanksgiving yet. But
it's literally everywhere.
It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. But we're super excited about this one because, it makes our heart feel warm. With number 5 for me, it goes to This Is Where I Leave You. This is a star-studded cast that is a highly underrated film, starring Jason Bateman, Adam Driver. This is honestly the first film I had ever seen Adam Driver in. Jane Fonda, Tina Fey, Connie something from Nashville. I remember her.
Connie Britton.
Yes, Connie Britton. So many people, and it's a beloved story about a father dying, and basically the family has to come back for the wake, and they're Jewish, so they gotta sit there and freaking mourn him for a week. I forget what that tradition is called, but yeah, they have to sit Shiva.
Yes.
And basically just trying to get back to honing in your life, honing in the real version of you, especially after being away for so long. There's something about that family that you grew up with that even after you move states, move away, and don't see each other every day, when you get back in the same room, it's that same camaraderie and that same relationship that's been forever, your entire life. And so it really shows you that no matter your peaks or your valleys, family is everything, and you have to make sure you sustain that family and continue moving forward, even when life gets busy. I know it's hard sometimes, but yeah, I love that film. Number 5 for me, This Is Where I Leave You.
There you go. I love it. And yeah, pretty much the vast majority of my films on my list are all about family and the importance of family and keeping them all together. My number 5 is Hallmark movies. Just in general, Hallmark movies. Yes, guys, I'm a Hallmarky. I'm a Hallmark guy. I'm a Hallmark dad. There's several groups that I am in that I apply to. And it's the holiday season. Can you not be a Hallmark movie fan during the holiday season? I mean, come on. These are just, as you said, these are movies that, while predictable, and they're getting better at making them less predictable and expanding and doing some things, but They're just meant to make you feel good. They're meant to be about love and happiness and happy endings and doing what's right and good morals and family values. And if you're going through a hard time, a bad day, you're depressed, something, these make you happy, and that's the whole point of them. So if you're a hater on Hallmark movies, what? They're literally designed to make you happy, and they do. That's why I have them on my list. My number 5, Hallmark movies. Check them out. I bet if you're a hater and have never watched one, if you watch one, you'll go, oh. Yes, Hallmark movies, number 5.
For sure. Yeah, great explanation. I love that. Number 4 for me is 51st Dates, starring Drew Barrymore and
Yes.
Adam Sandler. Absolutely love this movie. It's basically like the story of a man who doesn't give up on a woman no matter what, even if she has 24-hour amnesia and forgets her every single day. And I mean, I think this story just proves to you and tries to show everyday people that, relationships are an everyday process. It's a freaking journey, man. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but you have to stick together and like just adapt. It's not something once you get into a relationship, it's all fine and dandy, things are going to work out for themselves. No, you have to work on it every single day and make sure to balance everything because, there's even sometimes where, the man or you or whoever is listening to this podcast, you're putting in, 75% of the effort and your partner is putting in the 10. And it can be vice versa and it can be different percentages, but just knowing and realizing where each other is at in everyday life and what you're doing in life outside of your relationship, it's important to adapt to those things and be accommodating and just their shoulder to cry on anytime they need it. And I think that's what this film portrays, something that's very special in that a relationship is a ongoing process to continue getting better and being there for each other. So yeah, number 4 for me, 51st Dates.
Nice, nice. I love it. My number 4 is, I think it resonates with me so well, Back to the Future. Because who of us hasn't thought about at least one point in our lives wishing we could go back and change something that we messed up? Or go back and change something to make something currently better, right? We've all thought about it. We all wish we could. And that's exactly what this movie is about. But what the underlying message is that even if you can go back and change things to try to make things better, inevitably what happened will happen, and that's just what was meant to happen, and everything is going to be okay. And I think that's why this one resonates so well with me and always gives me an upbeat, happy feeling. It's about really, no matter where you are in life, live in the present. Which, it's funny because Back to the Future, right, and the entire trilogy, honestly, is all about time travel, but the message is clear. Live in the present. Live your life. And that's why this one works so well for me. And it's great. I mean, the cast is phenomenal. I mean, Michael J. Fox at his best, in my opinion. It's always been fun. Christopher Lloyd as Doc, just unbelievable. But if you haven't watched this trilogy, what? Where the hell have you been? Go back and watch it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I wholeheartedly stick with the message of live in the present, guys. You can't go back. You can't worry about what's coming. All you can do is live today and live for today. And yeah, Back to the Future. My number 4, feel good.
So good, man. So good. My number 3 goes to Pitch Perfect, which I bet nobody was expecting that one. It's just fun, man. It's a fun movie about singing and finding your place and finding your community. I think, even when you're not looking for your community, you still stumble upon people who will, gravitate towards you or you gravitate towards them. And they always say surround yourself with people who you have something to learn from. So I think that's kind of where this movie falls, where everybody learns from everybody and is able to learn how to make each other feel comfortable in their own skin, because there's a lot of instances in this trilogy and in this film specifically where people aren't comfortable in their own skin, but once they find their community, they find comfort within themselves. And it's a beautiful film. It's fun. There's a lot of sing-alongs. There's a lot of good stuff. But yeah, I love it. I love it. So number 3 for me, Pitch Perfect.
Yes, and if you live on or close to the Mississippi Gulf Coast and are a fan of former WLOX anchor Jonathan Brannon, who is a great friend and gave me my first directing opportunity, little known fact, He's in it. Check him out. He makes an appearance in it, guys, and you'll love it. Good pick, man. Good pick. My number 3, I've talked about this all the time. Jon Favreau is one of my all-time favorite directors for 2 reasons. He's a brilliant filmmaker and director, and he's a cook who loves to cook. What? I aspire to be that. My number 3 is Chef. It's a brilliant film about a guy chasing his dream to just cook what he wants to cook without the pressure of some guy breathing down his throat owning the restaurant about what he can and can't put on the menu. So he basically crosses country, picks up this beat-up old ragtag food truck, restores it, and then comes back across country serving it. And while all that's awesome, and it's great, it's about food, it's about his love, it's about his passion, it's about family. Because on this road trip, he reconnects with his son, who he's been struggling to have a relationship with. Him and his ex-wife have a solid friendship and relationship and are good, but he's been struggling to build that relationship after the divorce with the son. And this road trip really bonds them. The son even showing him how to market on social media, the truck, where they're going to be. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr. make a couple of appearances in this thing. Sofia Vergara is the ex-wife, and it's just a fun, really great film with a solid message about how you can repair relationships and that you should always prioritize family first and still chase the dream and make it happen. That's why I love this one so much. My number 3, Chef. Also WLOX anchor Jim Tabor makes a little appearance in this one. What? What the hell is going on with all these WLX people in these movies? But number 3, Chef. Check it out.
So good, man. So good. Well, number 2 for me goes to any of the Medea movies. Despite any of these allegations against Tyler Perry or what have you, I mean, his story is inspiring. His work ethic is inspiring. Him building a studio in Atlanta on an old military base is inspiring. What he was able to do with these films, it's basically about, Black families, Black communities. And at the end of the day, even though they go through all of these crazy scenarios, it always comes back to family being the most important thing and being there to support each other. And that's what I love about his films. Like, a lot of them have like the cookout scenes and like to bring all of like that big family reunion together and to have something so special. And normally, like in those scenes, you have like an elderly, ancestor type of person who passes along the knowledge to the younger people who are going through the main storyline, those are some of my all-time favorite scenes. But yeah, I think what he was able to do with those Medea movies is crazy, because I mean, there's like north of 10 of them, I feel like. So kudos to him and kudos to these movies, and they just represent family and their culture. So I love that. Number 2 for me, all of the Medea movies.
Can't take away what that guy did. I mean, he was broke, no food, no money, living in a van down by the river. No, it was a station wagon. But I mean, he was homeless, living in a station wagon, guys, and now he's a billionaire and just has built this empire. And keep chasing, keep dreaming, man. It can happen. My number 2, how can you watch this movie and not feel good? It's so fun. It's so beautiful. It's so great. Pretty Woman. What? This is the epitome of, we all want the fairy tale ending, right? We all want to find the love of our life and just be with who makes us happy and have that fairy tale. That's literally what this movie is about. There's a deeper message for me, though. What I really take away from this movie is you can't judge a book by its cover, or a human being by what you think they are. She a hooker, him a corporate raider, him a villain, her a whore. No, they're both just really sweet people trying to make it. And neither is really who they are represented to be by just looking at them. And this story, this love story of how they come together, really emphasizes don't judge people. Don't judge people by just looking and not knowing their story or who they really are. Because most people are inherently good and will surprise you. And that's the underlying story of this thing for me and why I love it so much. It's literally a redemption story of coming together and showing people who you really are and getting the fairy tale ending. And God, if we could all need that more in today's day and age, I don't know what. So my number 2, feel good for sure, Pretty Woman. And her singing Kiss, Prince in the bathtub, come on! One of the best scenes ever in film.
So good, man. So good. I got the physical media VHS thing going on right now, and I have
Yes.
Pretty Woman, and we watched Pretty Woman recently, and it gave all the nostalgia
Oh
feels
yeah,
like
so many
so freaking
vibes.
great.
Yeah.
Number one for me goes to Four Brothers. This was actually my introduction to Mark Wahlberg, and like his portrayal of this character like was so freaking amazing, and just I grew up with, I have five brothers, but I grew up with these four brothers who we were all around like the same age-ish. And like we were a rambunctious like group of kids, and we all identified with different characters in this film. And like we even picked which characters we were in the film. And I think that's really why like I identify so much with this film, is because it's that relationship of, we all come from different places. We all have different moms, different dads, stepbrothers, half brothers, whatever, what have you. But we're all still family and still go through it and still love each other. Even if we haven't talked to each other for years, like every time I watch this film, I think about my brothers. So it's an awesome thing. It's very nostalgic. It's very heartwarming. And it just reminds me that no matter where I am in life, I will always have them. So I'm so super thankful for them. So yeah, number one for me, Four Brothers.
Nice, nice. Great choice and great reason for why it's number one. My number one, because I mean, come on, man. You cannot watch this movie and not feel good after watching it. You have the need for speed and you want to enter the danger zone and you just want to go. Top Gun, y'all. Top Gun. This movie, again, it's got all the action. It's got all the excitement. It's got great flying scenes. It's got great animosity and turmoil between the characters. It's got a passionate and overwhelming death scene that really drives and gripping. But for me, this story, with all of that, why it makes me feel good, why it inspires me and gets me going is it's a story of redemption and about living your authentic self. This is a story about a guy who is trying to live up to a legend that is his dad and to be what other people expect him to be, instead of just being true to who he really is. And through the course of this movie finds that out. And he redeems himself and is on this journey to just be who he is and not worry about what other people think of him and who he is or his reputation. And, I think that's what we all strive for in life. To be happy, you just have to be yourself. Don't worry about what other people think of you or what they want from you or who they think you should be. Live authentically and you will be a happy person. And I think that's the underlying theme of this film and Maverick, right? Top Gun Maverick, same thing. It's about a journey of redemption and living authentically. And these films show that really well, while packing it with action and excitement and fun. So yeah, and kick-ass soundtracks and like, come on, man. You can't watch this one and not feel good. You do not, disclaimer, you do not have to join the Navy after watching it.
No, yeah.
Man, the surge when this first one came out, they had recruiters outside the theaters. People were felt so good and pumped up coming out of it. They're like, you want to be that? Sign here. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. But yeah, man, Top Gun for me, number one. Great feel-good movie, just love it.
So good, man. So good. Well, we want to know, what is your favorite feel good movie, or, a couple of them. Please be sure to comment down below in the YouTube comment section. Add us on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, all the good places. We love the fan interaction. So let's keep it going, man. Top five feel good movies. Comment them below.
Yes.
Oh, man. Now we're heading over to the box office recap, where last week Predator Badlands did pretty well. They got $80 million in their opening weekend. Regretting You with $7.1 million.
Surge back up, yeah.
Yeah, I had never heard of that one, but then when we went and saw a different film, they had a great poster from it.
Yeah.
So I was able to get that one, so I love that. Black Phone 2 was number 3 at the box office with $5.3 million. Sarah's Oil with $4.5 million, and Nuremberg, Russell Crowe's freaking like Nazi Germany, I
Yeah,
think.
that one. It's true
film.
story. True
Yeah.
story. And yeah, I kind of want to see that. I have a feeling I'm going to be the only one in the theater, but
For
it
sure,
looks
yeah.
really powerful. Oscar contender for sure, I think.
Yeah, $4.1 million it brought in. New movies coming out this week are Glen Powell's The Running Man, which we will be seeing tonight. Super excited about
Yes.
it. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Keeper in limited release, and Trap House in limited release. That one has Dave Bautista in that one.
Yes.
And movies you can still go see right now, Christie with Sydney Sweeney. I hate how much hate she's getting right now.
Christy had to come out and defend her. Christy
Yeah.
Martin actually came out and defended her. Like, you know, come on, man.
Yeah, it's super sad. Like she's just an artist making art. Chill out. Bugonia with Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. Chainsaw Man, the anime classic, apparently. Frankenstein is still in select cinemas near you, but you can also watch it on Netflix now.
Yes.
Con Aries and so many more in your select theaters. Just check out your local Fandango app and get where you need to go. The IMDb Pros top trending segment. Of course, the top trending movie is Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Pluribus.
Yep. Just dropped on streamers. Yeah, apparently a really solid TV show. I have not checked it out yet, so I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've seen like all the publicity for it, but yeah, I haven't checked it out yet. And the top trending star is Jacob Elordi, of course, with him being Frankenstein.
And the Wuthering Heights. It makes total sense. The guy's at the top of the list right now.
Exactly. But thank you everyone for getting crazy with us on episode 313 of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm, a crazy, easy way to find your entertainment news.
Yes.
As always, you can follow us anywhere and everywhere on social media. The company is at the company is at Crazy Ant Media. The podcast is at ITCAF Podcast. The other podcast, our mental health one, is at Everything's Okay P. And then, of course, us both personally on social media. I am at J Logan Austin, and
I am at Crazy Ant CEO.
That's right, man. That's right. And be sure to subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. We're on Ankle Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more.
Peanut trying to make the escape.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching this video on YouTube. Please be sure to do so. We put a lot of work and effort into our videos, so it's always nice to do that as well. And, of course, visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can find a little bit of something crazy from Crazy Ant Media. That's for sure. But, man, oh, man, another great freaking episode. Super happy with it, and happy for you to be back.
Yeah, man, I missed it last week. I hate being down and can't get going, but I just couldn't bring the energy, man, that this show is known for and that I love doing so much. So, but you did it. You knocked it out of the park. It was a great episode. But, man, every week, just Hollywood. The landscape is ever evolving, ever shifting. It's so hard to keep track, but we got you covered. That's why I love this show so much. It's like if you need to know week in, week out what's happening, we got you. And it's hard. Trust us. We don't even know half the time. Like, wait a minute, what? But yeah, man, I just love it. Hey, good to be back and just, yeah.
Yes, good to be back, good to be rocking and rolling, and good to celebrate the one, the only Oprah.
Oprah.